Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's a new day, another day to slay. As you can obviously tell from the title of this video, today video is going to be something more serious and personal, and I honestly never thought that I was going to be talking about this. This is something that's really personal to me, something that has kind of weighed me down in a way. And I finally feel like I'm in a place where I'm ready to release this. I'm ready to let this go and to heal and to like just start a new chapter. So I'm gonna start with how we met. So P is not related to me. He's related to my brother and my sister. But because he's related to them, he was kind of like family to me. So I seen P as like my cousin. Like, you know, like that's how it was. Like that's how our relationship was. Like we were like family, basically. We were family. So because of that, we always used to hang out. And we would mainly hang out like in the summertime. Because me and my mom don't live together, every summer I would go to her to visit. I would go visit her every summer. And that's when I would see P. Like that was when me and P would interact, when I went to go visit my mom for the summer. Because my two siblings who did live with my mom, they would always go and hang out with P. We would either go to their house sometimes, or we'd go to his mother's meat shop. She has a meat shop, and we would go and hang out there, you know, all play, joke and stuff. And I wouldn't always see him there. Like he would be there sometimes, and sometimes he weren't there. But that was where we would mainly interact. That's what our interaction was, always at the meat place where his mom worked, because he would come there to get food, and then we would talk, or we would kiki, or we would ride bikes. You know, like it was like that. That's how we would interact with each other. That's how we kind of grew a relationship and got to know each other. From me going to his mom meat shop with my siblings and seeing him there and kind of like talking and building that kind of relationship, and you know, and it was nice. Like I had fun going there every summer and hanging out at the meat shop with them, and you know, talking. Even like he has a sister. Me and his sister was so cool, like almost like best friends at some point, because like it was just always a good time. Everything was always normal and nice there, you know. And like everyone told each other is family. So when you think of someone's family, you kind of build that bond, and you build a trust, and you don't really think that anything bad is gonna happen, because that's your family, you know. So that's how it was. And he was always kind of like nice to me, but also I kind of noticed that it was always an underlying kind of like flirtiness, or like, you know, like whenever he talked to me, like it was always like a underlying flirtiness. Like he was like he was friendly, but also like kind of flirty. I don't know how to really do it. Like he wasn't outright directly like flirting with me at first. It was more so like a nice kind of like flirty, kind of like, you know, like just being too nice at some point kind of thing. Like that's how it was. But I didn't really think anything of it, because, you know, like we're all family. I'm not really putting 2 and 3 together and making 10. Like I'm not really seeing it yet. I'm a kid. So I don't remember exactly when it happened, but as years was going on, like was progressing, the older we was both getting, I noticed the more flirty he was becoming with me. Like he was just becoming more and more flirty, and like just like a little touchy. Like I remember this one time when like he touched my leg, and then he said like this comment, like what did he say? He was like, oh, you're feeling tingly? You feel tingly because I'm touching you? Like, and I was so like, I was just a kid, like, you know, like I was very like, I wasn't someone who was like overly sexual. Like I never been that person, you know. I always been the person who was kind of like, but very innocent. Like I was just very innocent when it came to like sexual things and stuff like that. And when he touched my leg, like I did feel tingly. Like I was like, I didn't know what these feelings were, like what was happening. Like, I mean, like I understood like him touching me was like him trying to flirt with me, but like I didn't really like understand it. Like I wasn't like trying to like put two and two together, because once again, like this person is like my cousin, like we're like family, you know. I'm not really thinking of him like that, see him like that, like I don't know, like that's not what's in my head, you know. So it didn't, at the time it felt innocent, because in my head, like I said, I still see him like he's my family, and I see him as someone who is my cousin and who is family and who is nice and who I hang out with and who's my friend. I don't see him as anything else, and I didn't think that he saw me any other way but vice versa, you know. I thought we saw each other the same way. I was unaware at the time that he was seeing me in like this sexual way. So when he did that, I didn't dwell on it too much, and I kind of forgot about it and moved on. But then he would get overly like sexual with everything, to the point where it was making me kind of uncomfortable, but I wasn't really like, still wasn't like putting it together and like really digesting it in a way that I probably should have. But I was really young, and like there wasn't guys chasing after me, so this was like my first like kind of like sexual experiences was happening unbeknownst to me even knowing that they were happening, like touching me and just being verbally like, you know, sexual in a way. And it's just wasn't really registering to me what was happening until it was like right in my face. So this was the first time he ever like sexually assaulted me. So we were in the house. So basically, like I told you in the beginning, his mom had a meat shop. I don't know if she still has it, but she had a meat shop that we would always go to in the summertime. Her meat shop was in the backyard of an actual house. I don't know if she owned the house or the house itself, because the house was like kind of like abandoned. Like it wasn't furnished or anything. Like it wasn't in use. Like no one was using the house, but her meat shop was in the back of the house. So we would always go in the house sometimes and play hide and seek, joke around, ba ba ba, bang bang bang. So we were in the house this one day playing hide and seek like we always do, and he was like, come with me, hide with me in the closet. Like he pulled my arm, not aggressively or anything, just like normally, like come, like, you know. And we went in the closet together, and we was both hiding in the closet, and we were like, this is like him and this is me, and we were like this little ass closet in this abandoned house, and his mom is in the backyard with other people. My sister, my older sister is there, and they're like just, you know, kikiing and everything is normal. And then I'm in this abandoned house with him, and my younger siblings are there and his siblings are there, and we're all playing hide and seek. And all of a sudden me and him are like kind of in this closet together, in this confined space. This closet was so little. He pulled us in their closet to go hide, and while we was in there, he literally kissed me. Like he just like kissed me on the lips, and I was like shocked. Like I was shocked. That was the first time I ever been kissed. I was confused, but I didn't really register the way I should have. And yeah, when it happened, I didn't tell anyone, and I didn't like really put two and two together. And I just thought, oh my god, like he just being such a boy, like he's being so annoying, can't believe he just kissed me. Like that's what I was thinking in my head. Like I wasn't like thinking like, oh my god, this is assault, this is sexual assault. He kisses me, and then he smiles and he's like, you like it? And I'm like, no, because I'm just like, what the hell, like why did you kiss me? Like it was like, what the fuck, like I want to punch you in your face kind of thing. And like he was just like, he was looking at me like he was trying to do more. And I just remember like getting out of the closet. Like, oh my God, I don't want to do, like, just kind of like leaving the closet as quick as I could. And like, you know, and like, just like my heart was beating, and I was like nervous, and I was just so uncomfortable. And I just was thinking like, oh my God, what if my siblings came in there and saw me? Like, I was just like, you know, when you just like so uncomfortable, like you just feel so anxious, you can't even like you can't even look at anything for too long, because like your brain is just going a million miles a moment, and you're just like not even sure what to do with yourself. It just felt really like, I felt really trapped in that moment, and I felt like I couldn't even say anything then to him and be like, don't ever do that again, you know? And that wasn't, and then he did do other stuff overly, like I remember this one time I went over to his house. It wasn't just me, like I wasn't like just voluntarily going over to his house, you know. The only time I would hang out with him was when me, my older sisters, and my younger siblings, when they all went there, you know. Because also, not only was my younger siblings related to him, my sister, boyfriend at the time, he's also related to him. So that's why me and him interacted so much. So we went to his house and his apartment, whatever, with his family. He lives with his family, like, you know, because we all kids, duh. But we was there, and you know, the kids went in the bedroom, because that's what kids do, all of us, to go hang out while the adults are in the living room talking. And like, he would just always like sit next to me or touch my leg. He loved touching me, touching my arm, like, just, you know, like, I just never really, no one else was giving me this attention like this, and I never felt this before. My body was kind of reacting to it, because I didn't really understand what was happening. Like, every time he would touch me and rub me, like, without my consent, you know, I don't know, it felt, I think I convinced myself that it was nice, that I liked the attention, that I wanted the attention, you know. I convinced myself that, oh, he's just giving me attention, oh, he just likes me, and like, oh my God, that's why he's rubbing on me. But like, he had really disgusting intent. Like, he was like touching all up on me and doing all these things, and me not really knowing like what is happening. I'm just like kind of like letting it happen. I'm just letting him touch me whenever he wanted to, letting him like kiss me on my fucking lips, because like, I didn't realize, like, I didn't know how to stop. I didn't know how to say no, because I wasn't used to this attention. I didn't know how to like stop it. Like, I didn't know, like, it's just, I don't know, I just felt trapped. I felt like I just didn't know what to say. So I just let it happen, and I never told anyone. He started little, and he was progressing. The reason why I wasn't really reacting too much to these gestures, like, I never once touched him back. I never once was flirtatious towards him back, or like was trying to touch him or be on him like that. I never once initiated anything. I never once asked him to touch me at all. Nothing. I didn't reciprocate his touches at all. Like, literally never. Not once did I ever reciprocated it at all. So that's why I don't understand how he kept going, you know? Like, I don't understand how he just kept doing more and more and more, and like, when I never reciprocated to any of his advances ever. And also, the reason why I kind of just allowed it to happen was because I still only saw him as my cousin, and I was still thinking that even though he was doing these things and giving me this weird attention and sexual attention, I still saw him as my cousin, as family, and I kind of thought he still saw me in that way too. Like, I didn't think that he was doing these things in like an evil way or to try to like hurt me or anything. I thought he was just giving me special attention as his cousin. It sounds so dumb now, but that's how I thought, you know, when it was happening. But then it just got worse, and this was the final thing that happened that kind of just like really woke me up to the fact that this person is like dangerous and I need to stay away from this person, and this person is trying to hurt me. So it was the summertime, like always, because summertime was the only time I really saw him. Because like we weren't like best friends or anything. So we let his mom meet shop like always, because that's where we be at. And we was in the house because that's where we play at. All the kids, we always go in the house to just do dumb stuff there. And I was laying down on the couch. I don't know if I was laying down on the couch in the house, because there was this one couch there. The place wasn't really furnished, but there was a couch. And I was laying down on the couch. My eyes were closed. I wasn't really sleeping. I was kind of like pretending to be asleep, just like closing my eyes. And he came inside of the house. This is like hard for me to talk about. He came inside of the house, and I guess he saw that I was laying down sleeping. So he sat, I don't know if he sat next to me or he was hovering over me, because my eyes were closed the whole time. Sorry. But then like he started touching me, like rubbing all up on my body, just like rubbing all on it, touching me and stuff, like really feeling up on me, like touching me, like, and I felt so paralyzed and like stuck, and I wanted to be like, please stop touching me, like I wanted to be like, please stop touching me, like don't touch me, don't touch me. But like he was just rubbing on me, like rubbing on my whole body, and like just touching me in places that he shouldn't be touching me. And I thank God every day that somebody came in the room, because if they did not come in the room, like he would have did more than just touching. If someone did not come in that room, he would have like but my cousin, it was one of my siblings, it was either my brother or my sister, they came in the room, and as soon as they came in the room and I felt I heard their voice, he yanked his hand back so quick. Like he was physically touching me, like not touching me on top of my clothes and under my clothes, like my actual body. Like he was touching, rubbing on me. And this was the first time that he actually like did that ever. And it felt like it was progressing into something else, like he was going to do something else. And thank God my brother came into the room and he yanked his hand away from me so quick. And as soon as I heard his voice, I opened my eyes so quick and I got up and I just walked out the room. And I remember my body was shaking and I felt so disgusted and uncomfortable, and just like it doesn't even feel real. Even talking about it, I'm still in my head like, am I making this up? Did this happen? Like, it doesn't even like feel real. Yeah, I don't really remember like what happened after that, to be honest. Everything just kind of like a blur for me, because I was just so traumatized. I was just so disgusted. I was so scared. I was so disgusted with myself. I blamed myself for so long that I allowed him to touch me like that. I allowed that to happen, allowed that to progress into the way that it did. I blame myself for not stopping him, for not telling anyone, for not like doing anything. And for a long time, like I was really uncomfortable in my own skin because of what he did to me, because of everything. Like things that I didn't even realize were fucked up were kind of like coming back to my memory. And I was just like, for a while, I didn't really know how to really cope with my own self, because of like, yeah, I'm on my tablet because my phone ran out of storage. But I didn't know how to cope with myself because of what he did to me, you know. And And it's kind of like I kind of like put all the blame on myself, you know, like it was all on me. It was my fault that he did that, you know, because I allowed it, because I didn't do nothing, because I didn't say nothing. But in reality, it was his fault. He did it to me. I didn't do it to myself. I didn't put myself through this. I didn't purposely not say anything. I was young, I was inexperienced, I didn't understand these things, I didn't understand what was happening. Like, sex was something taboo to me. Like, even just, like, I didn't understand these things. And he knew that. He took advantage of the fact that I was so innocent. And he used that to his advantage to take advantage of me. And I'm just grateful that he never, you know, I'm just grateful that never happened, because I wouldn't have been able to cope with that by myself at all. And I felt, and when that, and I'm just so grateful to God that it only went so far, you know? And even though it only went so far, it was still very much traumatizing, still very much damaging, still very much painful experience for me to even talk about. Yeah, that is my story. And I just want to say that it took me a long time to really come to the conclusion that what happened to me is nothing to do with me at all. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I was innocent. I was innocent in everything that happened. Someone took advantage of me and they used me. I didn't do that to myself. And for everyone who went through something similar to this or something worse, I just want you to know that you are not broken. That is not your, it is not your fault what happened to you. And you do not, it is not your responsibility to protect that person at all. It is not your responsibility to put them first before your own self. You are the most important. You are the one who has been wronged. You are the one who has been hurt. You are the one who has been taken advantage of. So do not for a second think that anything that happened to you, anything in that sort that happened to you is your fault at all. And not even a little bit of it is your fault. There is nothing you could have done to prevent that. So guess what? You did nothing wrong. That person is sick, and that person is disgusting, and that person needs help, and that person needs to be locked up. You do not need that. You need to be able to grow and to heal. I know how things like this, when it happens, I know how it eats you up alive, and I know how it makes you feel so small and so little. And it messes with you mentally, and it makes you feel like you can't ever like move on from it. But I promise you that you will heal from this. That is a journey, and it's not easy, but you will heal from it. And at times it will still be painful to talk about, and at times it may be hard to even think about, but you will heal from it, and you will learn from it, and you will grow from it, and you will grow with it, and it will no longer hold the same power over you as it does now. Okay, I just want you to keep fighting and keep going. Okay, I just want you to know that it's not your fault and you did nothing wrong. And I love you guys, and I thank you so much for watching and listening to my story. And I know I kind of suck at explaining stories, but I try my hardest to really tell it as it happened. And I love you guys, so thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next week. Bye.